We're back. All right. I did not publish anything last week. I have an episode recorded with a guest.
Time out.
But
I don't know if you recognize this guy without his security blanket.
This is why I wear a hat.
He does have hair. He doesn't always wear a hat, but this is in fact the Will King of whatever you do.
Yeah. Nailed it. That's an intro for you. I've got an episode that is being recorded, or was recorded, and I just haven't edited it yet. There's something about having one with like remote video. I tried to like edit it in this program and it didn't work. So then I had to learn something else. And so now I'm like stalling.
So now you needed to up your views. And so you brought in the big guns.
Well, now you're just part of the show. It's not about upping my views. It's just talking with you on this is more fun than talking by myself. So
it's, I'm sure, a lot better to listen to than just you rambling for
probably. But we've got a good lineup today. I was on Origins.fm by Sam Huckabee. We're gonna break that down. Allison's gonna give me some critique. So we'll do that. We're gonna talk about our matching tattoos. Tattoo reveal. We got matching tattoos. So get excited. And then we'll see what else we get to. But either way, this is Strong Opinions, weekly held with Will and Allie, episode number 10. Let's do it! Should we do the tattoo reveal first?
I'm just so distracted by your wings.
I'm going to fly away on this episode. Tattoo reveal first, and then we can break down the podcast episode.
But what if that's like your hook? You know, like what if people are
only here
for the tattoos?
If people are only here for the tattoo reveal, then it's
you're
already
gonna be disappointed.
It's already a lost cause. So we'll just get this out of the way. Me and Allie got matching tattoos because...
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine. Cut me off. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Stop. This is not something we did on a whim. We've definitely been talking about it for
Did I say we did it on a whim?
I just want a disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Do I seem like the kind of guy who just does stuff on a whim?
Yes. That is literally all you do. You look at something and you're like, I'm going to do that now.
Fair enough.
So,
and Allie's the opposite. Nothing is done on whim.
We have been thinking about this for a while, and it's just one of those things where the stars never aligned, where we had childcare availability.
It's tough to get a tattoo when you've got 3 kids.
Where we live, I wouldn't necessarily be like, woohoo, let's go get...
Also true. Got to find a reputable tattoo artist.
So yeah, it was like all the stars aligned. Finally.
All the stars aligned.
Yeah.
And we have matching tattoos. A lot of you had very terrible guesses. No, we did not get matching cabinet doors.
Man, but I tried real hard.
No.
For that.
No.
That would have been so good. Or if Will could have just closed the cabinet door. I think there, like a checklist, you know, like you could look at it and be like, yeah.
Yeah, well, I still think we should have gotten you boom, me roasted.
Or
boom, roasted.
Turn the sink off.
One time.
You flooded.
One and a half times.
You flooded the kitchen both times.
No, I only flooded it one time.
And then maybe you should put lettuce back in the fridge because
Allison, quit airing my dirty laundry.
Because
you put the salad in a drawer one time and...
in the cabinet drawers. He closed it at least, but, I go to get a spatula and there's a bag of lettuce.
And the spatula's in the refrigerator. It was a bad day.
Okay,
I had a lot going on.
But no, I really wanted the cabinet doors.
We're not.
Instead, he shot that down.
We got something that... means a lot to us. One, because we need it. We have to have it. And the other reason is because as a parent, is like the only time that you have like a moment of peace in your day sometimes.
Yeah, and it's been like a peaceful moment for us since we've met and
also
dated.
True, even before kids, we always did this together.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sweet.
All right. Let's see if y'all can see it.
Woohoo!
We got matching coffee cups.
Yeah. I know.
It's a choice. It's pretty it's crazy.
I stand by it.
We're just wilding out over here with coffee mugs. Mine's got like the left-handed mug handle because I'm left-handed.
Yeah.
In case y'all didn't know that. So.
Tattoo. We'll always have our coffee together.
Always.
And, I think it's
really and now sweet. We will literally always have our coffee together. All right.
Forever.
Tattoo reveal done.
So, if that's all you were here for,
you can go now.
Thank you for joining.
Now, Allie's going to just roast me about my interview with Sam on Origins.fm, which was a lot of fun, by the way.
You did great.
It was, who doesn't like to talk about themselves? Come on. But
I feel like most people, but I can hardly breathe in here with Will's head. Just
and my hair.
That too. No, you are awesome. It was a great interview.
It's a bit of a stretch.
That's
fun. We're not here to
okay, I'm gonna be your hype man for a second. You were awesome. I
appreciate it.
It was neat to hear you talk about how you started from the bottom and now you're I don't know if you're here, but
I'm not there
you're
yet.
Somewhere.
I'm not there yet, but we're having fun. That's what matters. Yeah. So I'm gonna start out by saying, okay, I listened to the whole interview myself, which I
bet you
might be thinking, wow, Will, why would you listen to your own interview, you big head? Like you just want to hear yourself talk.
Yeah.
Well, no. That's like one of the rules. It's like if you want to get better at speaking or interviewing, you have to watch the game tape.
Yeah.
You have to rewatch it, no matter how painful it is, and this one was painful, so that you can figure out all the spots that you need to improve. Yeah. And I've got a few just right off the top of my head.
Same.
One is I say way too much. Like a lot.
Yeah, but that's just like human filler words.
It is. But filler words, I don't want filler words. I want to sound
beef, man,
put together. Then that's one of them. That's one. My other one is that I think I was a little sick that day, but it felt like the entire time was...
Don't get in the mic.
It felt like I was sniffling or taking a deep breath before speaking a lot. Like a lot. It was bad.
You just took your own breath away.
Let's just make me sound like more of a pompous jackwagon. No. Took my own breath away. You're right. But you're right.
I feel like you're not saying thank you to me for listening to it for an hour because let's be honest.
We need to go to evidence. I'm bringing up Exhibit A.
Stop. I understood none of that. But
that's not true.
As a good supportive spouse.
I talked about us dating. You understood that.
As a good supportive spouse, I listened to it all.
I appreciate that.
It was a time that I had.
I really do like that you did that. That makes me feel pretty good. One, because I want you to tell me all the things I did wrong. But two, all right, Exhibit A, everyone. Let me read this text message I got from Allie today. I'm trying to get through this podcast, not 7. Can't someone make a highlight reel for me? It was long. It was a long podcast.
But you talked about good stuff. Was it applicable to me?
No. That's the point. The point is just I
already know all this stuff about you. So,
Interesting. Okay, I have a question then. Yeah. You knew all of this stuff about me. Your words just now.
Okay.
Was there anything that you heard in it that you were like, huh?
No, you just left out some important facts.
Oh. So I didn't talk enough.
No, you talked plenty. If you haven't noticed, Will does better in a tit for tat situation. He needs somebody to kind of...
interrupt me.
He needs
cut me off.
He needs somebody to just have a good rapport with. He's notorious for doing this in I hate to say it, but even Bible classes, that he'll start talking and he's answering the question, but then he veers off and then he travels down another path, and then we get distracted by another path, and then we're wandering around, and then we kind of turn and get back and answer the question. But, you know, it was definitely wordy, but you answered some good stuff. But no, you did leave out important information.
Interesting. Well, okay.
I mean, from my side of things.
Let's get into what I left out first.
Okay.
And then let's discuss the whole thing about where I just like meander around too much. And let's decide on like what's the right amount of meandering. Because I think we'll get there.
You're about to do it just then.
Getting better already.
Wow, the self-control.
What did I leave out?
Okay, well,
I think I nailed everything.
I mean, you talked about it all, but like there are some pretty big points of false. You did interview for a job. You said that you had never interviewed except for the job with the industrial design degree or whatever. But this is a fun story.
Nailed it. Yeah, you got me on this one. I did.
So when Will and
misinformation caught me.
You and I?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Are you done? Okay.
I'm done. Go ahead.
So when Will and I were talking about getting married, we weren't engaged yet, but we were having the conversations of, hey, we kind of want to live near a family. I'm going to have to be located at a school. What do we want your work to be? Am I going to get a job in Birmingham? Are we going to Huntsville? Are we going to Montgomery? We had too many options. And so Will was like, well, if I can find something remote, then that just kind of eliminates one of the things off of our list of like location. It just is based upon wherever I got a job.
Right.
So I guess you had been doing the Skill Crush classes. I'm not really sure.
Yes, I had already finished. I had finished all the Skill Crush classes.
That's beside the point.
At that point. No, it's not. It's an important part of the point.
So you started putting out feelers for remote jobs and came across somebody who needed something done remotely. That
Nailed
sounds
it.
about right. But Will failed to mention that he did interview for this job, and it was a pretty pivotal day for him.
Oh, it was the biggest day of my life.
I mean, not birth of your children or whatever. But anywho, up until this point, it was the biggest, most important day of your life.
Right. And it had nothing to do with the interview. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I did this interview via phone call on the interstate, headed to set up Allie's engagement.
No, that's not how you need to phrase that. That's really weird. My engagement? How about you were planning...
Our engagement?
Yeah, I'm engaged to you.
I mean, yeah, but like...
He was planning on proposing that day.
All right, context. We lived in Birmingham at the time because Allie was up there doing... what did you call it? Teaching...
My internship.
Internship. That's what it is. She was doing an internship at a school in Birmingham. And as mentioned, I was working in Birmingham at the Cherry Picker Truck Company. And when I left for work that morning, what I actually did was drive all the way down to Montgomery, where her family lives and where her grandparents, who own some land where they lived. And they have this giant oak tree, and I set up I set up this whole engagement. Okay, the plan was I drove down in the morning, set up the engagement, drove back before she got off of school around the time that I would get home from work to my apartment, and then I walked over to her apartment, and we were going down to Montgomery for like dinner with her grandparents because they needed help fixing something.
People don't need to know how we got engaged.
Sorry. But anyway.
He interviewed for this.
On the way down in the morning, I interviewed for this job.
And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm on the phone. I'm on the way to set up a proposal.
Right. Yes. And let me tell you, nothing kicks off an icebreaker like telling the person who's interviewing you that you're like headed to like set up with a proposal for your girlfriend at the time. Major brownie points. They were like, it was good. It was a good icebreaker. And I ended up getting the job.
He did.
So.
And on the way to the proposal, that obviously I didn't know was happening. He's explaining this remote opportunity.
Right.
And in true psycho girlfriend reaction.
Which Allie has no idea we're driving down to Montgomery at the time for me to propose to her.
I get so mad at him because I'm like, well, I don't even know why you're doing this. I don't even know why you care about taking the remote job. It's not like we're getting engaged anytime soon.
Should we tell the...
No, it's good. So... There was a good
ask about the fake proposal story sometime for anyone who's interested.
Don't do that. Don't be like that.
It's a funny story.
But anywho, he did interview for a job. It happened to be probably not on the best day you would want for an interview, but he got it.
It turned out great.
It was a catalyst.
It was.
For where you're at now.
I ended up getting 2 remote jobs. 2 part-time remote jobs and leaving my full-time job. So like the first 5 or 6 months of being remote, I did it working like 2 separate remote jobs before finally getting like the full-time role at Skill Crush.
Yeah. So that was misinformation number 1.
I forgot to mention how I interviewed for my first developer job on the road to get
on
engaged.
A podcast called Origin Stories.
I left out one of the stories. All right. And then you said things, as in there was more than one.
All right, so...
Was there another one?
Yeah, absolutely.
What? I think I mentioned all my jobs.
I mean, you mentioned all your jobs, but you painted a light of that you switch jobs every time I'm pregnant, and that's not true. And I need to bring to light...
It's like directionally true.
I mean, somewhat, but... One of the jobs, there's been so many, I can't keep up.
There's only been 3 jobs, people. Just because you're a kindergarten teacher and you're going to work the same job till you either quit or retire does not mean working 3 different companies is like so many jobs.
But like then you count 3. The remote ones, like the part-time ones before that, then it just looks like...
And like any time I do a freelance project, she calls that a job.
Okay. But anywho, the job where... It wasn't Crunchy, was it? Was this Crunchy? For Crunchy? No, it was the one before.
It was Vecteezy.
Okay.
What a name, man. Skill Crush, Vecteezy, Crunchy Data. I just want to work at a company with just like a regular name eventually.
You want to build cool things with cool people and cool names.
You did listen.
I did. Okay. Anywho, the Vecteezy job.
Yes, Vecteezy.
You were recruited for whatever we want to call it. You didn't actively search, but Will failed to mention that he brought up this job opportunity at quite possibly
I forgot about
the worst time ever. Now, hang on. I'm going to paint a picture here, and you can't.
All right, Bob Ross, what you got?
I got it. All these happy little trees. Here we go. We have 3 kids now, but at the time we had 2. Our oldest was 2.5, and I had our son a week ago. Okay, so press pause. Anybody who happens to be listening to this, and you have children, I want you to think about your wife 1 week after having a baby. All right? So
it's an important detail.
It's an important detail. So our baby is a week old, and he was born at the end of January, which would now be like the beginning of February, which is like one of the coldest times where we live.
I think it's generally one of the coldest times where anyone lives in the North Hemisphere. Alabama's not unique that February is cold.
And it didn't get that cold in Florida.
But it's still the coldest
I don't know. There could be flukes, you know?
Okay.
Anywho, it's freezing. We have a 2.5-year-old, just had a baby. Our power goes out due to...
Not just the power goes out.
Like...
A giant tree fell. Is that not when that happened?
No, this would be the electrical situation. They thought they were going to fix the box in the hole. That. Anywho,
don't even...
Power goes out. And so, mind you, I'm sobbing, crying. We have this newborn baby. Our house is freezing. We can't stay here. Some sweet friends take us in. And as I am wiping tears of just our life is in shambles, I'm exhausted.
We've
Will
got
decides to tell
we've
me.
got a 3-year-old and a newborn in somebody's
Else's house.
3-bedroom house.
Will decides to tell me, "Hey, I'm quitting my job." And I'm like,
I know this is a really bad time to mention this, but...
So, he just failed to mention the surroundings. But, it was great.
I mean, that is very important context.
Yeah.
To the situation. Oof. Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot that is... Yeah. Which...
I'm a real patient woman over here. Cabinet doors, leaving sinks on, lettuce in a drawer.
Life events of
Switching
various
jobs.
sizes.
Yeah. Those are all I got right now. Y'all talked for an hour, so...
Well, that's pretty good. We talked for like an hour and a half, and
yeah.
I only missed 2 details.
I'm sure there's
I'd say
more,
that's a pretty good record, everybody.
I'm going to be real honest.
Okay.
A lot of it.
The last thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I do these. I want to get better at these. I want to do conference talks. And so, interviewing, talking, public speaking, like I need to get better at wording, So, I re-listened to it. I mentioned some things that I thought. You listened to the whole thing. What are some areas that I can improve, that I need to improve
this feels like a trap.
For optimum storytelling? No holds barred. No, yeah, did I nail that? That's a hard one to remember.
I'm going to be really honest. I'm way too tired to know.
No holds barred. No hold. Moving on.
No. You are great. You are a person that when you feel passionate about something, you just keep on going. And,
right, but it's not. Quit trying to make me feel good about myself, which I really appreciate. It's super encouraging.
Making everybody think I'm a jerk.
No, I'm not. You are very supportive. Always have been. Every time I've changed jobs, done different projects, tried new things, you're always the first person supporting me to do that. This is one of the new things I want to do, and I need to get better at it. And your family is very good with their words and very good at speaking, both publicly and privately. I am neither of those. So
what I hear you say
you won't hurt
is
my
you
feelings.
Want classes from your father-in-law on public speaking.
No. I don't.
I'm just kidding. No, you just need to figure out a way to be concise. Being concise is not a bad thing. Answering your question.
It's not. You're right. Being concise is good.
Effectively. Sorry. And moving on is good. You don't need to just give a mini sermon for everything you're asked.
This is true.
And this is why
there's a balance, though, right?
You shine when you're kind of just talking with somebody, and that's what an interview essentially is. You're not. This is true. Just because they're not next to you doesn't mean they're not there, Will. Oh. Kind of like your imaginary friends online, That's
y'all are not imaginary. Don't let her hurt your feelings. Y'all are all real. Okay. I think there's a balance, though. Because if I'm too... there's got to be... Everyone loves a good side quest. You don't know what that is because you're not a nerd. More on that because she didn't think I was a nerd, but I tricked her. All right. Side quest. Side quest just means, yes, this is, the main storyline.
But something's going on over here. Context clues, I got it.
Right. There's got to be a good side quest every now and then. But I think I take side quests from my side quests. And then next thing you know, you're trying to think what the main storyline even was.
So far over here, you got to figure out how to get back here.
This is true.
But also, you could argue that if you were to go on and on and on,
right,
and side quest this way and that way, it doesn't sound as authentic as if you were just having a conversation with somebody.
What do you mean authentic?
Just if you were having a conversation, you wouldn't want somebody to just
drone on
forever because it doesn't feel like a genuine conversation.
Cool.
It was a fantastic interview. You did great.
I didn't feel that Lots of room for improvement. Lots of room for improvement.
If you understand what they're talking about, I'm sure it's riveting.
Okay.
So yeah.
To summarize it all, I need to work on filler words. I need to...
Whoa. You need to work on removing filler words.
Okay. Can't remove too many
clear
words,
and
apparently.
Concise.
Too clear, too concise. Too concise, unclear. Okay. Remove filler words. I need to only have the occasional side quest and not be stacking side quests. Clear and concise.
Yeah.
Got it.
You're
okay.
Great.
I think I can work on that.
I'm sure you could. We can do like a practice interview.
If anybody else wants to have me on their podcast so I can practice, come on down.
It'll be great.
It'll be great.
It'll be a time.
Okay. Podcast breakdown, check.
That was a lot. Yikes. Okay.
Matching tattoos, check.
We did it.
Do we want to call it? Do we want to cover any of these other ones? There's a really funny kid story with a potential... it's potentially explicit.
And here's a
warning. But like all parents can relate to it. But like, is it that good of a story?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's funny. But...
I think it's really funny. Okay.
Wait. This will be on here for forever.
It will be. And I can bleep the word out.
That makes it sound worse, I think. I don't know. You know I get weird with this kind of stuff.
You do get weird with this kind of stuff. All right. Wilson, our 2-year-old.
Yeah. He's middle child.
He's potty training.
I would say we're potty trained.
Potty trained.
We are.
He is.
Don't
Okay.
Don't diminish the accomplishment that we all worked through. By golly, he's potty trained.
Okay, the context is important. We recently potty trained.
Oh, yeah.
Potty training, potties, our bodies, are on our mind.
All the time.
So, we travel up to Athens this last weekend.
Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. This is good. He said he grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, and that is a bold-faced lie.
Huntsville area. Nobody knows what Athens is.
He grew up outside of Huntsville in a small town called Athens, Alabama.
It's a great town. Home of the Fiddler Convention.
It's great. It's glorious. And one day we'll get into a little bit more about Will and his Athens history.
We don't need to. Moving on.
It'll be great. But he's not from Huntsville. He's from Athens, people.
So we go to Athens.
Okay, sorry.
The Athens is where we get the matching tattoos because my parents can watch the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we are at church Sunday morning with Wilson, who I had just taken, who his now favorite thing that now he knows to use the potty. Hey, this sermon's kind of going long. What's a good way to get out of here?
This is right before church.
I need a TT.
Yeah.
So this happens at any time in church when he's like, I need to get out of here. I need to go TT. We go out. We go use the potty. We come back. And Wilson wants to draw. Mm-hmm. So he's drawing away.
Mind you, people are still talking. Services hadn't quite started yet. He's drawing fresh from the restroom. And
he's working. Allie is working. Kindergarten teacher over here, always working. She's working on, with Wilson, drawing people. Drawing faces, because it's a big developmental milestone if you can draw like eyes and a mouth. So Wilson's just working on. He draws himself. He goes, look, it's Dubby. Dubby is what?
This is a side of a side. Okay.
Anyway, back to the story. Dubby. So I say, oh, hey, buddy, can you draw me? You did such a good job. Can you draw me? So he starts drawing. He's just scribbling away.
People are talking. And then it's about to start. And so, like the hush of a crowd.
Yeah.
Right before something's about to start. Mm-hmm. And then it gets like...
All of a sudden, a very excited 2-year-old in the middle of drawing his daddy looks down and goes, Daddy, look. He has a lateral lisp, which is like when you say your S's. He...
I can't believe you're about to say.
As the hush is happening, I hear, Daddy, look. I drew your penis. Daddy, look, it's your penis.
So not only do we hear that,
everybody at church hears. Daddy, it's your penis.
Okay, stop saying it. So we are up for Parents of the Year.
Fantastic.
So
this is like going down in the history. We have this notion. I don't know if I've mentioned it on here yet. But we have this notion, Doc, of like every funny thing that we think our kids have ever said or every cute, memorable thing. Mm-hmm. We'll have to go through on an episode and share some of these. But needless to say, this made it on the list for sure.
That was probably the most humiliating moment.
It was.
Of my
it was like
existence.
One of those like parent moments where you just want to like crawl into a hole and just like disappear.
I'm gonna tell you, Wilson. Keeping us on our toes.
What always. A mood. Let me tell you, the puzzle master himself.
Yeah. But, we lived to tell the tale.
We did.
Apparently, we're telling it to everybody.
Literally to tell the tale.
Yeah. So.
All right. These other two are going to last for a while, I think.
Please, let's stop. Because I read online that tomorrow's a full moon. And if you know anything about small children.
Which y'all probably don't. Because let me tell you, I thought I knew stuff about small children.
And a classroom full of them. If you
Kindergarten
know a
teachers
tomorrow,
know a lot about kids.
If you know a teacher tomorrow, or whenever this airs, Thursday was a full moon, check on them.
Yeah.
We won't be okay.
Kids are crazy on full moon days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So.
Cool.
I don't know.
We're going to peace out. We're going to go get some ice cream and go to bed.
Yeah. Don't you want to like wave goodbye with your hair?
I know, it's kind of bad. Bye. Yeah.